Then what does the other teams do to catch up with Pep Guardiola and his charges? Do they give up? What do they do to ensure they can catch up with Pep Guardiola and his team, for instance, for next season?
The first thing you do is to pray for luck. You'd have to beat them by having your key men fit. Yeah. The Liverpool example Kwame just referenced, they were lucky. They played that first league game that season against Norwich, and they lost Alisson for 2 months. So Liverpool played the first 10 games of that season with Adrian, their backup. Luckily for them, they won all those games. Okay. So by the time Alisson came back, Liverpool had a good head start against Manchester City. 2, strengthen when you are able to challenge them. Okay. Don't just hold on to your players and say that we are okay. Improve. Arsenal did the last season with Declan Rice, Timber and Co. Now, Arsenal and Liverpool must get back into their market and improve their squad. Okay. Because Manchester City are not going to stay still. Second, it has now emerged that taking 4 points off them not even enough to win the league from them. Okay. So if you get them, beat them and beat them properly. If Arsenal had done that job at the Etihad, you would have sent a psychological warning to them that we are here to compete you to take your crown. So if you're able to complete the double over them, it is difficult. But if you're able to do that, you are good to go. For the first time this season, Arsenal and Arteta became the first manager to have played both Klopp and Pep Guardiola season without losing. Okay. Over 2 games. Okay. They took 4 from Liverpool. They took 4 from Manchester City. So they couldn't beat Manchester City to the title, which is worrying. Okay. So whilst you have a good team now, don't renege. Don't rest. Look into the market and improve. Okay. Because when they are down, when the chips are down for them, they started the season without Kevin De Bruyne. People were holding the fort. Look at Phil Foden. Look at Bernardo Silva. So anytime somebody goes out, someone comes in and like nothing happened. You need that kind of depth to compete them. Okay. So you've got to spend on the squad and improve it. Don't listen to what anybody says. Especially when you're at the top, you are likely to feel that, oh, I'm good, I have a good team, let me just adjust it. No, don't. Okay. Get quality. At the time, they had Mahrez and Sterling on the bench. This is the juggernaut you are up against. And it's beautiful how they try to open up games. They have every chip in their armory. The usual cutback of Guardiola is not even there these days. But they come at you direct, either through the middle with the incision of Foden or De Bruyne, or they go and whip it from any of the flanks, be it left or right. So look, they have everything. Okay. And they have the best manager we've seen in the modern times. So it's understandable. But you've got to improve your squad. Okay. You have to. Now, let's ask ourselves. The first time Liverpool and Manchester City went toe-to-toe, that was 2018-19. Manchester City had company in their team. Liverpool had Virgil van Dijk. What has happened? Otamendi is no more there. Company is no more there. Now they have Ruben Dias. They have Akanji. Okay, John Stones. Every single time they are improving the squad. But Liverpool still have the old horses there. So it's difficult, but it's doable if you improve your squad the right way and you get some luck, especially with injuries. When you keep your key men fit and available for most games, you're likely to get something against them.
Same question for you, Kwame, before I center on the 2 teams the 2 of you support for next season. But Kwame, same question for you. What do the teams do to ensure they can compete with Pep and City?
Well, I think Atta made mention of some very important points. One other key thing that Arsenal did this season that I was very happy for them about was keeping the squad healthy. I mean, in the final stretch, the only player that wasn't available for Arsenal at that point was Jurgen Timber, who had sustained a long-term injury at the beginning of the season, so it made it very difficult. But I looked at the Arsenal injury list, and it looks as if everyone was fit and healthy. And you would need to keep that. Secondly, Arsenal lost a very crucial game, and I think it came at a point where they were a bit conflicted, and Arteta was trying to manage the squad.
Okay.
So, the point I'm going to make basically is the same point Atta Poku'S has already reiterated.
Okay.
Getting to improve your squad. Because when Arteta made those tweaks against Aston Villa, which I believe was where they lost the league, I mean, they had no business losing to Villa. With the form they were in, they had absolutely no business losing to Villa. But the coach felt that there was a Champions League game on the horizon. And as a result of that, had to make adjustments to be able to cater for that. So have one eye on the league, one eye on the Champions League. City are able to afford that. Now, I was looking at a certain statistics of teams that have been able to change their defensive line over the period. And at the top of it was Manchester United and other teams, and there was City in there. You would ask yourself, other teams are making these changes as a result of injuries. But for Manchester City, it wasn't as a result of injuries. It was as a result of the coach's tactical tweaks and fashioning out game plans for specific games that they were playing. Not many teams in England have the luxury of having the likes of Akanji, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, and even Vardiol, who is not a left back, but have been made available to play at left back. So you see, the plethora of options they have at their disposal, it makes it very difficult for any team to compete. Okay. So I'll go with Atta's point. When you have the opportunity to strengthen, don't joke. Strengthen. Okay. When you look at Arsenal's backline, Saliba played 38 over 38 games. 38 over 38 games. And there's somebody who can also get tired at some point. Okay. I mean, playing that long stretch. Okay. There is also his partner, Gabriel, who also played a lot of games. Yeah. So it was just the same partnership playing over a very long period of time. So when it got a bit difficult for them in those games that they lost against Fulham, against West Ham at home, I mean, you realize that it was a point where the team was a bit exhausted and the team had been stretched. Okay. So they had to go refuel in January. I mean, get enough rest for them to be able to go on that long run. Okay. Man City can afford that because they have the depth in squad to be able to make those changes. Okay. Other clubs would have to emulate that to be able to beat Pep Guardiola.
Because of our time, Atta, let me get to you on Liverpool. Now, Klopp gone, slot in. I don't know why you guys chose to go that way. That's rhyme. Klopp slot. But is Slot the man to get Liverpool back at it? The man to challenge Pep Guardiola and his charges for the ultimate in the EPL?
Let's not even lose sight of the fact that it's an underwhelming appointment. Unless you look at their pedigree with which Jurgen Klopp took over Liverpool's job. He was a proven winner, not once, twice in the Bundesliga, and had managed a team to the Champions League final. And Slot has proven himself in the Dutch Eredivisie. Comparatively, it's lower than the Bundesliga. He's won the league and he's lost the Conference League final to Jose Mourinho. Now, Liverpool are penny pinching all the time. And they need somebody who can do what Klopp does for them. Improve players who are within and those they buy. You look at the work he's done very well for Feyenoord. Okay. But who did same for Feyenoord before him? Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. When he came to Rangers, we all saw what happened. Disaster. So the problem is not his ability, but the transition to a new league that is hyper competitive. Okay. This is not the Johan Cruyff Cup or the Eredivisie. No. This is the Premier League, where the pressure from the press alone sometimes has to stall on the coach's decision. Okay. So Liverpool are good to have him. Okay. He is an underwhelming appointment. Okay. But he's one full of promise, and he's lucky to have a very quality structure around him. Okay. Unlike Klopp, he's also in a team that is far better and would need fewer tweaks compared to the Liverpool of 2015. Okay. It's really the end of an era. Okay. And it's going to be interesting and equally fascinating how Liverpool will progress from here. Okay. If he gets it right, it will be beautiful. The thing with Liverpool is that all the trophies they've won in recent times, they are mostly won by the European managers.
Okay.
Gerard Houllier, Rafa Benitez, Jurgen Klopp.
Okay.
I'm hoping that another continental manager will bring something new to the club.
Okay.
But it's really the end of an era.
Absolutely.
And when the era ends with a great man, the transition becomes painful sometimes. I'm only hoping that Ancelotti can back the trend. Because you've seen it the world over. That every successful spell, it takes some time for the club to get going again.
Okay.
And hopefully it gets better.
All right, great. Let me end it with Kwame Bafo. It looks as though the man Erik ten Hag is staying on. What should be done to get Man U back in less than a few minutes to get Man U back at the top again?
Well, there's a new ownership. The new ownership has identified a problem over the last 11 years. And what the owner has said is that the club has lacked a very good environment. That is, the structure around the managers haven't been good enough. You've had Jose Mourinho, you've had Luis van Gaal. These are winners. Unfortunately, these guys haven't been able to, we're able to get some relative success in terms of cups. So LVG won the FA Cup, Mourinho won a few trophies. But there hasn't been, the team hasn't been challenging for the big titles, i.e. the league and then the Champions League. Now, Erik ten Hag came in under a different project. That's the project run by John Mertog and then the then Chief Executive Officer. Now, Ineos have identified a problem, and as a result of that, are revamping the whole situation and are trying to get in people who they believe are the best in class, because that's how they classify them. So they've got in Jason Wilcox from formerly of Manchester City and now formerly of Southampton. As in now they have Omar Barada, former Chief Operating Officer of Manchester City. They are doing their best to get Dan Ashworth in so that they can streamline. Now, what the approach they are taking is that they want to take the focus from the coach being the manager, where the coach will be the coach, and then the structure will determine the direction in terms of the football they will play, the signings they will make, and then everything, every other thing that has got to do with it. Now, how fruitful is this going to be? We would have to wait and see. You could attest to the quality of the people coming in. Barada has his own achievements that he's done with Manchester City. He wasn't the main man, but he was part of the whole jigsaw in that club. Now, Wilcox was part of the City Academy, seeing to the players such as Phil Foden and other players coming in. He took a bigger appointment at Southampton and has come in. Now, Ashworth is the big guy. We know what he did at England and what he did at Brighton and the few weeks that he was, or the few weeks that he was in the process of doing at Newcastle. So, Erik ten Hag, with the body of work he's done this season, I mean, it warrants a sack. But you look at the excuses that are there, the injuries, the fact that he was in the process, the team was in transition. I mean, there were a lot of issues surrounding it. So some people buy that excuse. But you look at his body of work previously. Last season, he had a very good season. And previously at Ajax, winning the league multiple times. So he should have some goodwill that should see him there. For me personally, as a United fan, I would want to see him under this new structure to see how best he's able to get the best out of himself and the team that he'll present him with. A lot would have to happen, but we would have to see. But it's my prayer that he succeeds, he stays, he succeeds, and he gets the best.
Awesome. And the two bring me memories of Saturday morning, the Game Plan show on Capital Radio. Thank you very much, guys. Collins and Kwame, members of Daring Team Ghana. Thank you, guys, for your time with us on the show. Grateful to Collins, Atta Poku'S, and also Kwame Bafo.